What is cracking, guys? JP here again, bringing you another update of my 90-gallon reef tank. In today's video, we're going to talk about some nitrate and phosphate dosing, some fragging, and some rearranging of the corals. So let's go to the nitrate dosing. So the whole story was, my corals are a little pale, so I realized, maybe it's the nitrate and phosphate. So yeah. It is the nitrate and the phosphate. It's 0, and then the phosphate is a little bit 0.3 to 0.1 because I use the Salifert, so it's not really accurate as much. There's a little bit of blue, so it's probably in the low end, I would say. But ever since I did my light change, removed the T5 a little bit, my alkalinity went to 8.5 from 8.5. And then the temperature went down too. So I had a little bit of increase of alk. So I removed the 5-minute dosing of alk and calcium. And I added 30 ml of nitrate and phosphate. I just used this, little bottle. I got this 30 ml doser. For the nitrate and phosphate I'm dosing is actually use this sodium nitrate from Amazon. And this one is the monopotassium phosphate from Greenleaf Aquarium. So I just use basically a little bit, I would say 2 teaspoons to the nitrate and then 1/4 for the phosphate. So yeah, I did that. I started dosing and I realized, well, this tank is actually at my parents', and I have my own house now, and I'm only able to see this tank once a week. So that's a big problem since I can't do it with auto doser or manual dosing. And I only have 2 doser. It's regular BRS doser. So I asked in the forums Reef to Reef if I can add nitrate and phosphate in these liquids. So yes, they said yes, you can do it without no problems. So I did some sodium nitrate, 2 teaspoons to the alkalinity. This is basically soda ash, sodium carbonate. And then 1/4 teaspoon of the phosphate to the calcium. So there we go. And after adding the 30 ml, my nitrate was 5 to 10 after the night. When I tested my salinity, it was actually almost 1.28. Oh no, wait, I don't remember what's the salinity usually, but no, it's a little bit like 37 or 38 SG. So I did some calculation online. There's a calculator, and it's about 10 liter. So I removed 10 liter of salt water and let it auto top off itself, and then I retested again later on. It went back to 35 SG. So that's good. It's been a while since I've done some water change. That's why my salinity started creeping up. Corals never budge really anything. They just keep chugging along. Pretty good. Alright. March 7. 8.5 DKH. So ever since I added some nitrate, DKH has been going down. Coral's been growing pretty nice. Nitrate is actually 20 ppm, 15 to 20 actually. So ever since it went down, I added 5 minutes of alk and calcium dosing, and that's today. So I think it's the wrong date. Today is 8.5 DKH, so I didn't change any of the alk. And nitrate and phosphate is 15 to 20. Nitrate is 15 to 20 NO3, and then phosphate is about less than 0.1. So for the nitrate, I just use these API, and then like I said, Salifert for the phosphate. So it's less than 0.1. So it's not too bad as long as you have a little blue. So that's good. All right. So the corals has been growing pretty nicely ever since I started dosing them some nitrate and phosphate. So onto the Coral update. So first things first is I moved some corals. I moved the big bird's nest to the sump. I posted online. Nobody really was interested. Or there was one guy, but he didn't really follow through. So I just kind of put it in a sump, put the back up here. They grow really quick. So I'm not really worried about it. I know I have a local pet store just got bought out by another local guy, and he's doing a grand opening on the saltwater section, so hopefully I'm gonna talk to him if he wants some frags. I also fragged some hammer from this guy because this guy, the light was not reaching through the little ones anymore, and this was an accidental frag. So hopefully in the next month or so, the flesh and the polyps will be bigger. They already are open. Holy crap, there's the accidental frag right there. So yeah, and these go pretty quick. Also move my gold torch in this area. It wasn't liking it. I don't know why. So I moved it a little bit more in the front and center right there in front of the green torch. And I want this guy to grow really quick and fast and big so I can propagate and sell some in the future. So pretty good. Alright. I also cut up some Milka stylo because it was starting to reach the yellow poraites, and I want the poraites to get the most flow and light to keep growing. And I accidentally fragged my blue tip acro. I have my bone cutter jump out of the water, and it basically snapped a couple branches, so it's right there in the middle right there. So yeah. Onto the SPS update or coral update. So you guys remember about the Jason Fox flame? There was a little bit STN on the bottom. Look at that, it's healed up. Ever since I started dosing some nitrate and amino acid, the STN stopped, and looks like there's new polyps growing back in there. It's not algae because I can tell there's polyps in there. So that's a good thing. You can see right there, there's a polyp on those white areas. So it's growing back and it's actually expanding even more, or encrusting. So that's a good sign. Now ever since I started dosing some nitrate and phosphate, the coral coloration has been getting better. It's getting deeper reddish. Right now it looks kind of brownish because of the 10K male halide, but it looks really good in person too. It's starting to get really dark red. So that's our nice vivid red. It's getting there. Very big too. You can see some feeding filaments or tentacles from the corals from the amino acids. So yeah, I still get some algae growing here and there. Get some cyano growing in that rocks. My some corals doesn't like to grow, like this one. It used to be a pink Cadillac, or that's what they call it, but I don't know. Well, wait. Mushroom are growing nice. I need to frag this guy. Then I'm gonna move this guy someday, this Montipora lantana. No one really had this. I don't know why, it looks very nice. So I need to move it to the middle of this section right here, so it will get that nice yellow coloration, because it starts to get shaded from the not Montipora, from the chip pavona. So it's starting to get less light. So I need to move this Montipora lantana. My Hawkins are growing really nice ever since I started doing some nitrate and phosphate dosing. My purple acro is growing nuts. I can see all the new branches or polyps really extended. So pretty good. Walt Disney's doing pretty good. Always polyps out. So he's starting to almost touch that blue tip acro. And then my red planet is always, I don't know, doesn't like it there. Sometimes at night I see this, my cleaner shrimp will always hang on that area right there. So I don't know what's going on. Red planet, PC rainbow, look at the feeding tentacles of that. Holy smokes. Crazy. So yeah. Overall pretty good, and I definitely need to start cleaning the sand bed area. For future plans, wanted to set up like a little frag tank at my own house, and most of the frags that I cut up here will be at my house. So this tank will be a nice display instead of like cluttered with other corals in the bottom. So also my next plan, maybe I'll buy some like Dr. Reef quarantine fish, so I don't have to deal with all the quarantining and dealing with fish deaths. So we'll see. I hear they have a pretty good reputation. Fish seems to be in recovery mode, so especially the blue-green chromis. The blue-green chromis are pretty old. Somebody commented in the comments how old are these fish. The newest fish is the Tomini tang. This guy's been for a good year. The oldest fish is probably the Royal Gramma and the blue-green chromis. Royal Gramma, I added them at the same time or nearly with the blue-green chromis, so they're probably what, 5 years maybe? That was still back then at the 40-gallon. And then I added Firefish with the 75, 90 gallon, and the yellow wrasse. So they're probably a good 2 years, 1 to 2 year old, and then a Bangay Cardinal to 1 to 2 year old. But the blue-green chromis and the Royal Gramma, the two of them are about 4 to 5 years old, I believe. I have to look back in my videos and see, when I got them. So yeah, kind of sad. They used to have two firefish. One got like egg bound or got a bacterial infection in the belly and just died. But there's always been a couple like the Royal Gramma. Man, brain is growing really nice though. Algae wise, yeah, I still got algae, but I'm not worried about it though. Algae there, algae there. Oh yeah, I found an aptasia in that white glued up area. It's like, crap, it's an aptasia, so I glued it right away. I found one a long time on the other side, but this one, they keep popping up here and there, but there's no like outbreak, so I don't know where they're coming. Either they're from the plumbing or in a sump or in a Chato bucket. I don't know. Well, we'll just see. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Happy reef keeping, and adios.